You have just had your baby and you're wondering what next. The next thing is you have to birth your placenta. Placenta is that thing that connects you to your child. It's also what you feed your child through. So you have to birth it out. Now, what do you do with it? It's mostly given to your husband or whoever followed you to the hospital at that time. And what can they do? They can flush it in the drain or they can bury it. It's left for you. In other parts of the world, I believe they use this to make cosmetics and so on. But then in this side of the world, you are better keep it safe because some spiritual things makes it very risky. So it's usually given to a very trusted person who can take care of it in the proper way. Now, after birthing your placenta, another thing that is next is clearing of the bloods in your tummy. There will be a lot of blood clots in your tummy. Of course, your baby was formed from blood, so it is rightful for it to be cleaned. I don't know if it's all hospitals who does this, but it is a very good thing if they clean it because it's going to reduce the risk of excessive bleeding, and at the same time, it's going to help you get your flat tummy back if it is well cleaned. It doesn't mean you won't get it if it's not cleaned, but if it is cleaned, there's possibility of getting your tummy to where it was originally faster than having all blood clots in your tummy. So after your tummy has been cleaned, and it's kind of a very painful procedure, so you want to be prepared mentally for it. And if you were a first time mom, there's possibility of having tears. There is very high chance of having tears. Actually, there's something that determines that tears, but I'm not going to mention it here. There is high chance of having tears, so your tears will be sewn, and it's sometimes painful. It depends on your hospital's procedures. So after your tummy has been cleaned, your tears has been sewn, finally you can go to bed to rest. Now, when you're resting on the bed, you will be very hungry. I mentioned this when I was saying prepare for labor, because that's why I was saying you should have eaten at intervals when you were having contraction rest, because you'll be very, very, very hungry after you've had your baby. Now, what you eat depends on if there is food around or you're going to sleep hungry. But nevertheless, what I would advise you to is don't eat anything that will make your poo harden, such as bread and so on, because you're going to have problem with going to the toilet. Your going to the toilet is not going to be easy. Now, if you've taken something that makes your poop hard, it's going to make the whole thing even harder. Now, another thing while you're resting is you feel some movements in your tummy. No, 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 don't panic. It's just your organs going back to where they're supposed to be. Those organs had to shift for your baby to be comfortable. But now there is no baby there. Oh, our self-contained is back. Let us relax. So they move back to where they are supposed to be. Nevertheless, anything you feel, tell your nurse, tell your health personnel. Anything you feel, there's a movement in your tummy, call them and you tell them. There's this, call them and you tell them, I think I'm still bleeding. Call them and you tell them, okay, in terms of bleeding, after having your child, you will keep bleeding. Actually, despite your tummy has been clean, your blood needs to come out, and it's just in form of like menstrual pain. But this time around, this one is not called menstrual pain. This one is not called menstruation, rather. This one is not called menstruation, it is called lochia. So this, you have this lochia, that's the bleeding of your tummy after childbirth. It's called lochia. You have this, so you're going to have to use your mother's sanitary towel. So when you use your mother's sanitary towel or pad, you're going to use to take that blood. So you keep having bleeding for a few days though. So those are the things you need to know that happens after childbirth. In addition to all this, during this period of time, be assured that your baby is fine, and you don't need to force yourself into buying food for your baby if you've not rested well to breastfeed. If you feel comfortable to have a very short breastfeeding at that moment, please do, because when you breastfeed your baby, it calls your breast milk quick. The baby may not even take anything, but the moment the baby is latching on your breast, you're nursing your baby, it sends signal to your brain to release the milk. But then if you don't have the energy to leave your baby be, please don't let them give your baby formula, because I noticed that there is this very common thing now. The moment the mother has given birth to the child, they give the child formula, majorly for marketing values, like for sales purpose, not because that baby is hungry. Because a newborn baby can stay a few days without any food at all. I mean, any food at all. Yes. So please avoid giving your baby formula from the beginning, because it's going to affect you in the long on the long run. How do I mean? You won't be able to have exclusive if your baby has been given formula, in the sense that your baby will always be hungry and won't be filled with your breast milk anymore. The breast milk that a child needs is very small, but then when they mix up formula, they give like a particular quantity of milk, and it expands or increases the size of the baby's stomach, which will lead to the baby crying all the time and being cranky, and this will lead you to going out to source for formula. Now, when you go out to source for formula before your breast milk is even all up and running, your baby start getting used to this formula. So you have to do the mixture of both formula and breast milk. Only if luckily you still were still able to produce very excessive breast milk. But aside from that, there is no advantage to it. Your baby will always be hungry, because now the tummy is big to take a lot of food. So it is better the formula is not given to the child at all. Let your breast milk be the first food and the six months food. I just added this point. We'll still talk more about it, but this is the period where they do that thing immediately. They just give the baby formula just for the sake of marketing, just so that formula can sell. It's not really because of anything. It's so that the one they have in the hospital, they have to make sales now. That is just it. I didn't mean you want to do formula giving. It's no big deal. But if you intend doing exclusive, this is the very risky part that's going to destroy your plan to do exclusive. So that is all I have for you. So now on this note, let me say welcome home. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. I'll be so glad you did. Thank you so much for watching till this time. Once again, welcome home, mama, and your baby is blessed. Take care of yourself. See you in my next video. Bye.